It's Sticky Riley, aka Biz here in the golden witch, the VOIDGAZERS. Follow me into the void, doesn't typically avoid feelings that you paranoid, making you into a joint to bury. We carry all your memories and remix your ancestors. Past the future, have the melt in your mouth texture.
She's red, take your head. Construction bed, talks the fed. So fire spreads, you're not safe, so take the pill. Everyone can see you on the hill, so come into the void.
Banana juice. Banana juice. The juice industry. $10 billion a year industry, you guys. Why is Big Banana staying out of that?
Banana is so popular that we've extincted like most of the bananas. Did you know
Right.
that?
That's,
There's,
well,
like,
that's
a
what I
lot
mean
of
by
them
Big
gone.
Banana. There's like a whole cabal to keeping bananas alive because we've gone through several like species of banana.
Is it just that banana juice is taking it too far? Like we already have so many uses for banana.
There's banana nectar, like the really concentrated garbage you can get in grocery stores, like vanilla extract.
Yeah.
You can get banana nectar. Or it's like it's treated like those lemon juice squeeze bottles, but of
Like,
banana.
Going through all the Tootsie
Right.
Roll flavors, the banana one is like a little bit too much banana. So maybe just banana like juice is
I like
too
it.
fucking banana for most.
But where's the option for me? Like I want the banana juice.
I think Japan actually, if you go to like J-Mart or something, they might have some kind of banana drink. Like I know they have a banana like milk or something, some weird shit like that.
Banana milk sounds great. But like it's like that's why I don't want smoothies. Sounds like banana milk. I just want banana juice.
Right.
We got apple juice, orange juice, grape juice, cranberry juice.
That one, I mean, it's pretty egregious that
Kids
cranberries
would-
got in before bananas.
Kids wouldn't drink banana juice.
They drink literal banana. Like they drink just
Right.
fucking banana mush.
Like, so that's sort of what I've been thinking about this week. Pretty much the last 4 days straight, I've been thinking about fucking why isn't banana juice more prevalent in our culture, and how do we fix that as a people concerned with the race moving forward? How do we better the world for our kids by making sure that banana juice becomes like a household thing? We need Bird to make us some banana juice
Yeah.
instead of just regular fruit smoothies.
Yeah.
The apple juice makes it slide with, like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, though? Because the apple juice, it's a different consistency.
Well, it makes it
than
from like a
thickness
lumpy
of
to
it.
like a smoothie.
Right. It's great. It makes it, like, slide.
Does banana juice need to be refrigerated, or is it sold in the dry foods aisles?
Refrigerated. It's like banana juice.
So it's like orange.
it's like apple juice. Orange juice.
Well, apple juice is sold in the non-refrigerated aisle.
Oh, fuck.
It's refrigerated after opening.
Sure. Well, that's how I think everything should be. Should probably be refrigerated after opening, right?
I mean, orange juice is refrigerated the whole time. You can't ever not refrigerate the orange juice, even before opening.
Right. It's because, like, when you're squishing the orange, that's when it's opening.
All right, let's go to our first caller, why don't we? Flo and Joe, the duo, coming to us on the VOIDGAZERS podcast. How you guys doing?
Good, good. How are you?
We are great. What has brought you before us to this fine evening?
So I saw you briefly in Tampa, kicked it with Riley for a little bit.
Shit.
No regrets because nothing matters unless I say it does. Then I'm grabbing it, I'm bagging it, don't give a fuck. If you think I should be having it, back the fuck off. It's mine, motherfucker.
I really love that place. Like I didn't think it's just such a weird vibe, especially with like the chickens running around and like during the day it seemed like it was like a little small retirement town or some shit.
Right.
Night, the demons came out.
I'm not used to seeing that many people on the streets on a normal night, regardless one during COVID. Like,
Right.
I was just like, holy shit, this place is like open.
It was
like,
more packed than Vegas when we were there a month
Yeah.
or so ago. My favorite part was probably when I took more shrooms than I should have, threw up everywhere, and then couldn't wear any of my nice clothes because I was sweating too hard. Like on the first night, I was so fucking out of it when I got to the pirate bar. I first met Pay is extinct. She was like, "Hey, Riley." And I looked over towards where she should have been, but she's a little shorter than me, and I was really high, so there was no person there. She's like, "It's me, Pay." And I was like, what does this mean? Who is talking to me? Eventually, I looked down and saw her, and it took a second for me to recognize her, but like I was that far out. Lots of people introduced themselves to me at the pirate bar, and then I met them the next day. Like I was like, "Oh, nice to meet you."
I don't know if it was your beanie or something, but you were just kind of like wringing it in your hands back and forth, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh man, he's donezo.
All the clothing options I chose for my cartoon wardrobe so people could recognize me easily. Like, I'll bring a cape and a beanie and a sweatshirt. It's like, oh man,
I'm in Florida. Well, I did my very first shroom time. It was capsules, a couple of them, and for me, it kept making reality brick. Is the best way I can put it. Where like I might stare at something for a second, but whereas like when you're on acid, it'll be like things keep getting more complex and start like moving as you stare at it, and then you'll like snap out of it and it restarts.
Right.
On shrooms, it would be like I'd start staring, and then at some point it would be like glass shattering effect on all of reality, and then like it would go black for a second, and like it was rebooting. Like my eyes were rebooting. So like reality would just go, and then I'm back. Super fucking weird, and it was happening to me for like 45 minutes.
Shrooms are more like a natural kind of herbal style of psychedelic. I mean, just because they are, but in the way that they hit you, and then LSD's more like chemical. It's spiky, more up and down kind of.
I'd agree
Shrooms
with
is just
that.
like a tunnel. You go in and then you come out.
I tend to be like really utilitarian with drugs. I'm always talking about drugs and doing drugs, but I'll do them with a point to them, especially something like acid, where I'm like, oh, well, I need to spend the next 8 hours making stuff and cleaning.
Right.
And the best way I'm going to do that is if I drop acid this morning.
Yeah.
You know, it's
I mean, if I'm going to go to a party, ecstasy is going to make me able to communicate with people in a less autistic manner than normal. It's pretty nice. If I can manage to imitate those effects well enough that I don't need the drug, that'd be cool. Because I've heard it's kind of expensive. I haven't had to pay for it yet, but maybe I'll reach a future where I never have to pay for anything, and then I just won't care anymore. Is that more or less dangerous? I have no idea.
Yeah, that's the rap lifestyle. That's what I want. I enjoyed selling some stuff.
Why are we podcasting?
This
Why
weekend.
are we rapping? God damn it!
He's like trying to find drugs, find somebody that might have drugs. Everybody starts thinking I have drugs. Have to calm everybody down and explain that I'm not selling drugs. I'm looking for drugs. And I was like, this is a fucking shit show.
Yeah, that sounds hilarious. I know a bunch of like autistic mishaps happened over people trying to acquire drugs, but not having the social skill to go, oh yeah, can I have that drug? Like they'd get so close though. Like even people, I love this. When people walk up to me and are like, hey, I heard you had drugs. I'll go, yeah, and look at them.
Right.
And then they'll not say anything and walk away usually. Like, right? Like, I'll just be like, yeah, I do have drugs.
Right.
And I'll wait for a question. Like, can I buy some?
I don't trust you to be a responsible drug buyer if this is the way you ask for drugs. Basically.
Exactly. That's more the point, right?
You have to stick to the Duncan Trussell tried and true method of find the person and harass them until you get mushrooms, and then go on with your life as if it never happened. Like, don't just be that guy that asks every single person you come across.
Yeah. No, you find one guy who probably has this, and then you wait until they give it to you.
You can't give people this advice, Riley, because now everybody's going to do this to you. They're all just going to stand in a line next to you waiting for shrooms.
You're like, that's the guy. Bug him. It was great to meet you, FlowEuphoria from D Live. We're definitely going to have to come on to your show together. I've done your show before.
Well, I thought she was fun.
Hello, Digi.
Fantastic.
Hey.
Having fun on this trip?
Yeah.
I slept some. I just did a couple of fat dabs. Probably about to do another fat
in
dab.
that world. Don't you want to just hear about it? Want to hear about it? Jack off to the woman of your choice. Like
driving.
Come on, everybody wants to hear those stories.
When we get to Tampa, we can make her drive.
Yeah.
And then you and I can start being drunk.
Not liking content. I know.
I guess I can be drunk whenever I want. Honestly, I'm already a little shit. Alright. Add burp sound effect. Drunk. Bit drunk already. Shit. Hear those burps?
Have you ever been too high in public?
Once.
One time?
Yeah, the first time I took an eighth of a baggie of shrooms was in Vegas on the Strip. And then I walked through like their little Paris there, and I couldn't tell I wasn't inside anymore. Yeah. Like I was inside and outside of my own head, and I was just stuck inside of a building for like 4 hours because the lights and everything, it looked like it was outside on purpose. Right. So the drugs really took a hold.
Like, wow, they really made it look like daytime. I can't believe it. Like, and just can't get over it. I feel like I'm too high in public all the time. But then also when I'm not high, I also act like a schizo. So I don't know if it's the drugs or if it's just a problem of being who I am.
Right. Well, do you think if you were out in public, like you were earlier, and if you weren't high, do you think you'd be like, oh, I'm too blank instead? Like, oh, I'm being too schizo today.
I'll run you through you through the situation. Me and Mint went to Food Lion, and she was getting chocolate and juice, I assume, and I was getting Diet Pepsi, Diet Coke, whatever was on sale. So I walk in and I think maybe I'll get a cart, like a small cart, because I don't know how much I'm getting or if Mint's gonna get the same stuff. But then we just we bolt in. I go straight for the soda aisle. Mint goes straight to the chocolate aisle, I guess. And I see that it's 4 for $11. And I'm like, okay, I can carry 4 boxes. So I, 2 per hand. And I'm immediately like, well, I fucking wish I had brought a cart. Why didn't I do that? Why do I ever not bring a cart when I never know if I'm going to end up with more than I bargained for? Like, at the absolute least, I was planning to buy 2 boxes of fucking soda.
Right. And what's the over-under on needing a cart? 3 items?
Yeah, pretty much. And they have the fucking mini carts, and Mint, I knew Mint was around, and I don't know how much she's getting. It looked like she got a lot. She probably wishes she got a fucking cart too, right? I didn't see you get a cart. I start to walk back to the front of the store, and I'm like, I go over to like where the carts are, and as I'm getting close to the carts, I'm like, I'm just as close to these carts as I am to the registers, so I'm not going to go put these in a cart and then go to the register. I'm just going to go to the register. But then as I'm at the register, I'm realizing, well, now I have to stand in line behind people.
Right.
So if I did have a cart, I wouldn't have stood here holding these for an additional 2 minutes. And then, finally, I got up there and I put them all down, and they go up. And the lady, she rung them all up at once, but did not move any of them to the other side of the register.
Right.
So, like, it took me a second to realize, like, I'm just kind of staring at the machine that's saying, like, put your card in or whatever. And then finally it clicks with me that, like, oh, it only says that if she's done ringing stuff up. So she's just not going to move any of those. And so I paid for it, that I picked all 4 of them up, and she kind of looks at me like, are you sure you're good? I put them up there the first time. So then...
Coronavirus has really made retail store workers lazy.
On the way out of the store, I put them in a cart and took the cart to the car.
Did you put your cart back?
I put them down, and I put the cart into the cart corral.
Disappointing.
Wow.
Because Mint was still in the store anyways. So then I drove the car back around and waited for her.
What a fascinating self-defeating character trait. I'll go into a grocery store with me and Mint, knowing I'm getting 1 item between the 2 of us, and still have her get a cart.
Smarter than what I did.
Yeah, I always want a cart.
Either of us should have gotten a cart. And if not for ourselves, then knowing what the other person was going to get.
Right, Mint wasn't following my lessons, or she'd have gotten a cart for you.
Yeah. Or I haven't followed my own lessons, because
Right.
I've literally I had to externalize this so that I would finally hear myself describe this problem.
Which
So I
is
have
what
a
the
chance
point
of
of Void
fixing it.
Thoughts will be, you know?
Hopefully.
We're just externalizing hold-ups in our fucking head.
So am I too high or just crazy? Poll below.
We're gonna have polls for this show already. And let's go ahead and bring in our next caller.
Iluzon, welcome to the VOIDGAZERS! What is going on with you right now? Why are you here?
Right now, I am just going to stay silent and wait till Riley gives me those drugs, you know?
I'm mailing them right now. It's gonna be email. Is that okay?
Yeah. What third world fuck off hellhole are you from?
Czech Republic, you know, Prague.
Sounds about right.
I'm just hearing all that drug talk and remembering how I almost did drugs but never did drugs, you know?
Oh, no.
That's great. Tell
Come
us
to
how
America
you...
and cure that problem.
That, of course. But tell us how you almost did drugs but didn't.
You know, this is Bohemia. It was voted as the most hedonistic country, you know, in some some research stuff. You know, yeah, like
Free
you know,
love.
alcohol and drugs and everything. You know, how the actual consumption. I'm susceptible to being addicted. You know, I'm addicted to food and shit. And
Same.
I was gonna say, well, you can't get addicted to weed, but then I looked in the mirror and realized that is an absolute lie.
I mean, it's not like you're addicted. You just use it all the time and can't stop.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
and
fine.
feel really terrible for days on end when I don't. And
I do love how stoners are always trying to peddle that myth, like, oh, it's not even addictive. It's like, oh, yeah, no, except the withdrawals are worse
Right.
than anything else.
Right, exactly.
Like, it's like not drinking caffeine.
Can't
after...
fucking eat for like a week when I
Right,
quit
yeah.
weed. It's fucking hard to quit.
Headaches.
It's harder to quit than cigarettes for me.
I mean, my mom is a doctor, and she tells me how I should lose weight every day. But still, when I go around the KFC, I'm like, I might, you know, just this once again, you know.
This is my favorite caller so far.
Yeah, you feeling relatable?
Yep.
I'm like when you say KFC, I picture myself in the drive-thru, and then I feel a rumble in my stomach, and then thankfully I remember what KFC tastes like, and all that goes away.
But have you ever had a KFC buffet on the East Coast?
No, I
Northeast?
did not know about that.
Oh,
A
in
whole
Connecticut,
buffet.
there were buffets me and my friends would hit up. And you go into the KFC and you just get all the chicken and biscuits, mashed potatoes, shit like that. in a
Gravy
buffet
on
style.
everything.
Yeah. It's so good. It's like $10 for all you can eat KFC.
All right, guys, I can stop the podcast
but-
and drive up to Connecticut.
I'm still trying to figure out what to do with my mind and stuff, you know, just being a bit more productive for once. So, and I have this friend who organizes anime conventions and develops for virtual reality, you know, and he always posts pictures like with gizmos that read his mind, you know, and he does like.
Wait, hold on. He always posts pictures with gizmos that read his mind? Is that what you just said? What the fuck? Deconstruct that whole sentence for me. What do you mean? What gizmos read his mind? What are you talking about?
You know, like when you go, when you go to a doctor and they
a
put
brain
like
scan?
Yeah, they put electrodes on your head.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
When I think read your mind, I think like hear your inner thoughts, like psychic powers. Like
Right.
That's what it's trying to do, you know. He
okay,
You're right. I mean,
yeah.
and he says that it works, you know, that it's like, you know, alpha beta waves and stuff like that, and it just puts him into some kinds of waves, you know, into some state of mind.
Like a Zen state of mind, or like.
or whatever he's going for, right? Like, you can change it with the waves.
Whoa.
Trying to, like, kind of direct your mind's energies.
Can I like DJ my brain, like sit there with the knob and be like, like my mood keeps going like happy sad, like just I start like thrashing.
Yeah,
just, like,
it's like
DJ BPD. That's what we're gonna call that. DJ BPD, and then there's gonna be a cutaway right there to some song video.
please don't call this alcohol an Ativan. I'm at a man, I call it Ativan. And alcohol to order what I had and when.
And he has all the virtual reality headsets, you know, he collects them and stuff. Nice. So I've been to a party there, and there was one guy who obviously had drugs, you know, and
I can't imagine going to this house without drugs. I'm sorry you didn't take the drugs. I mean, maybe it would have been a lot for a first time, you know, like a lot to take in.
Right, like in the VR mind reading house in the woods. Like,
Yeah, it might be a little bit of a scary place to drop acid, but for the first
clean, you know, he works there, but then after we talked after the party, you know, I went with the drug guy, and you know. I went with him, you know, because we were talking about like I want to try something, you know, to help me, and
were you gonna
he was
blow
like,
for some coke?
No. I'm not the kind of guy who I'm too autistic for people to ask me to blow them, you know. But
you asked to blow them. You are too autistic, but not for the right reasons. You have to do the asking to blow.
Somebody asks me, I would, but. I'm too, you know, afraid of.
I understand.
And when we got to his place, you know, his place looked like drug den, you know. So, and that spooked me a bit, but still, I was like, okay, give me what you want, you know. And he rattled off a couple names of drugs I haven't heard before, you know. And he's like, I know exactly what you need. Here's a small dose. He just chopped it up on his old ebook reader. That he obviously does drugs of all the time.
Heard of doing coke on an iPhone, but a Kindle?
And then I was like, okay, I want to try these, but I'm gonna wait for a time when I'm prepared. So I had just this small glass container in my bag, at the bottom. Then I forgot about it, and then when he asked me about it again on Facebook, I fished it out, and it opened, and the powder was all over. So, and I was too embarrassed to ask him for anything else, and too spooked to ask again, So, no drugs yet.
I understand that. That's a good story.
What's your favorite classic Czech dish?
Ooh, actually, it's tlačenka, which which would be translated like push meat, let's say. It's like chopped up meat and intestines and stuff like that, and it's and when it's liquid, it's pushed through like a round thing, and then it's just a round slab of deliciousness, and I love it. It's you slice it up and then eat with raw onions and vinegar and bread. When are you going to finally get your ass over to Europe, and get an RV and
We global.
I mean, I just yesterday bought a spot in a LARP in Wisconsin, or Michigan, I think. So for next year,
What's
next.
the theme for the LARP?
It's military sci-fi. It's from Honor Harrington book.
Are you talking? Oh, okay. So it's like one specific military sci-fi series.
Yeah, it's on an actual ship. So I'm hype.
It's the Tony Peaks neck gaiter from the Hack the Movies store. It's beautiful, and I love it, and it's my favorite thing ever. It takes my unchad chin and fake beard and turns it into a real beard and a real smile. Look at the stash.
Very Italian.
Indeed.
Very much Italian.
I feel like I can really bare my soul to the camera.
More honest.
So, it started when I was 13. The kids, they bullied me because I was tall. And like all tall kids, as is evidenced by the movie Tall Girl, people hate us because we can reach things. And reaching...
I like you because you can reach things.
I'm never reaching anything for her again.
I didn't
Thank
mean
you.
exclusively because you can reach things.
Discrimination for being tall. You think all I'm good for is reaching things?
How do you even
I
sell
think
yourself?
everybody should be appreciated for their unique abilities.
That seems...
My Little Pony.
What?
Friendship is magic.
Would being tall be a cutie mark? How would you establish that?
Well, your cutie mark would be whatever being tall uniquely allows you to do.
I don't know how much of this is usable. There's mad
Slow
ice. Duralogs.
Ice.
Duralogs.
Slow ice.
You've used one?
I used a Duralog. We used 6 of them in rapid succession.
Yes.
I
They
don't
last.
know why. We went to Burning Dick and we got 6 Duralogs and then other cheaper wood that could be burned on top of the Duralogs, and then we burned all the Duralogs.
Right in a row.
And they definitely didn't burn for 3 hours.
They did.
No,
I believe they did.
Nah.
I think they did.
2 at most.
No, the problem is we'd burn 3 at a time. We burned 3 at a time, so the whole night, lasts about 6 hours. We're fucking not smart people.
I should have supervised the fire.
Fucking Duralogs. They can last 4 hours. That's useful when you need to start a fire or cap one. When you're at your last log of the night and you're like, well, this will go out in 4 hours via fucking science. Why don't we have slow ice yet? Ice cubes that last hours in your drink.
What if we tried? What are we... People, there was the tale of boil your ice and it makes less air in ice or something, and it
Right,
denser.
right.
It
Boil
maybe
your
lasts,
water, then
another
freeze
minute
it.
or something. We've
Lasts a
seen
few
like
minutes.
the super clear bar ice with no imperfections or whatever that they like chisel in different way.
Right. We got dry ice. I'm sure that lasts a while.
I don't think you want to put that in your drink.
Yeah, sure. Why? What's it do? I don't know anything about
If
it.
you touch it, you get gangrene like instantly.
I wouldn't touch it.
That
I'd just
seems really
drink
cool.
liquid touched by. So what you got to do is we got to find those little like metal fake ice cubes you can drop into your drinks.
You got the metal ice cubes, then you got the drinks. I remember when I was a kid, there was like plastic cup where it has an interior.
We need that technology, that foldy, bendy, plastic or metal shit, and then we put inside of that the dry ice.
Yeah. In like a James Bond movie as like a cool thing in a club. Someone, oh yes, we have like dry ice in your martini.
Right.
Stirred and shaken. And
Super villain fucking club night.
Picked up, put down, shot across. That's how I like my drinks.
Dry ice.
I just think we could have slower ice. I'm not saying it has to last hours either. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Like an ice cube that lasts 10 minutes.
I think ice cubes last at least 10
minutes. No, fucking
There's
4.
still one in that bong, and I put that in there 20 minutes ago. Like,
well,
Dun-dun-dun-dun,
when you put it like that, I may have been high and
but
losing time.
Ice could get slower. I mean, it's on its way out. I'd like it to last an hour. I mean, I can easily sit there and zone out holding a bong.
Look, the point's not how long ice melts right now. It's like how long has ice always melted?
Right.
The same fucking rate, the same speed. How many years have we been using ice without improving on it?
It's really fucked.
Tesla, get on this.
All right, I think it's time for another caller. All right, Duncan, you're the first ever fucking guest on the Void Gazers podcast. How does it feel? Do you feel special? Do you feel cool?
I feel great. This is an honor. An honor to be here.
An honor? What is so honorable about it?
I didn't actually understand exactly the whole idea of Void Gazers, but I sat down today, once I saw your tweet, and I watched through the whole Void Chasers.
Yeah.
And that was a good time. I got exactly what this whole thing is about, you know?
Hopefully I don't cough myself off this fucking mountain.
Or you do.
Don't worry, if you fuck up, I'll throw you off.
Like if you don't cough off the mountain?
Yeah. It's the closest to base jumping we're gonna get.
Good. Have you done any void chasing yourself? Anything like that?
No, I don't think anything that extreme, but I'm looking forward to getting into it, you know? I don't know, just being out in the desert, shooting guns, sounds like a good time.
Yeah. That shotgun was not easy to hold. The shit is heavy. It fucking kicks. It was I want the little petite, the little feminine guns.
And the little tiny girl shotguns.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, do they have those? Do they have baby shotguns?
Fucking they have sawed-offs. I don't know if they're smaller. I don't know if they kick less.
Did you have any burning questions or things you wanted to talk about with us that caused you to sit in that waiting room for so goddamn long?
I was just enjoying myself in there. Don't worry about that. But specifically, I have one request, which is we need more cooking videos from Ari. I need more of that in my life.
Thank you.
What's going on? What's happening? Why is there a pile of stuff that smells good going on? What's happening? What's going on?
I'm making Thai fried rice with beef, ginger, green onions, and bok choy, also garlic. Green onion, ginger, garlic, more ginger, green onion ends. Big Asian lettuce. Or cabbage? I don't know what bok choy is to you.
I think it is cabbage.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you decide to make Thai fried rice today?
Because it tastes great and it's really cheap and easy to make a lot of all at once.
And the best part is that if you make a lot of it all at once, then you can also eat it all day because it stays just as good as a leftover continually for days.
Multiple days, 2 or 3. Thanksgiving leftovers, maybe only good after the first or second day. These, good for a week, at least.
I thought it smelled good before this stuff started cooking.
So I put the garlic, the ginger, the green onions, and oil, as well as 1 Anaheim pepper. And now I'm just going to toast all those and then throw the cream ground meat in. Wow. Once the ground meat goes in, it's going to cook in its own fat. Once it's turned all brown all the way through, and then the rice will go in and absorb all the fat. Food Lion ground beef. 7327, the only acceptable type of ground beef. Any other fat, lean content, not worth it. Fat meat content, I don't even know what it is. It says that. Big steam. We're just frying the meat and all the good stuff in the fat from the meat. It smells really good.
Where'd all the other stuff go?
It's all in the meat. There's rice there, bok choy's over there. We'll add it in at the
Rice.
end.
What happened here?
You throw 2 cups of rice, 1.5 cups of water in a pot, boil it, and then it's rice. Don't at me if you use a rice cooker.
Did you try it yet?
No, I am peppering it. Looks good though.
Peppering.
It's very hot.
Is there anything that you forgot to say to do?
I forgot to say to do. Put the bok choy in before you put the rice in, and then put the rice in, and then stir it. Make sure it's pretty much one thing. Like, it all comes together as one dish. Kind of looks like meat rice now. And then put green onions on top.
Wow.
Food.
Try it.
Oh, it's really hot.
I mean, you can wait if you like need. Like, if you're gonna like, are you gonna burn yourself? Like, is it?
Very good.
Hell yeah.
Very, very hot.
You know, The Simpsons can parody it. Everyone knows that political institutions are corrupt, and giant corporations like Facebook and Tesla and whatever are, you know, running on like a system of authoritarian power. They trying to grab as much power as possible. Everyone knows these things, and yet.
What's your review?
So the argument that like, oh, capitalism's just it's just great. It just works.
It tastes good. Oh shit!
It falls apart.
I'm messing.
You want to try with sriracha?
You know, we know that our government's a spy. Right? It's like Zizek said, like Zizek points out, like ideology works even if you don't believe in it.
I just
the same way we all know
ginger. That was nice.
That the American two-party system, for example, is completely ineffectual, and representative democracy in such a restricted
Probably
way.
gonna put more of that on there.
I put that on everything.
Just nothing. It's just
great.
It's just, that doesn't.
Ari does have some nice steak.
Let me give you a pitch, Duncan. Here's a food I've been trying to get Ari to make me. Have you ever heard of a what is it, buddy? Something buddy?
Oh, a chip buddy.
A chip buddy?
I know chip buddies very well. That's my culture right there.
What culture is that?
Perfect.
Wait, that's
the
culture?
Accented one. Listen to him.
The accented one.
He's got an accent. Therefore, he eats
wait,
food.
what accent is that?
Ireland. It's Irish.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense.
Perfect. I want Bird to add like a ton of cheese, but then I think the chip buddy would be perfect.
Somebody's yelling about in the background.
I personally am against chip buddies. I am willing to stand upon them.
Why am I
They're
not?
his culture.
I'm
He's
not
a
surprised
fan
that
of
the
his
Irish
culture.
house is full of drunkards screaming in the background.
Right.
By the way.
Don't worry about that. Wasn't even me. I don't know who the fuck it was.
Were they Irish as well, or were they just mad for no reason?
No, there's no one here. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
somebody
we
in the
heard a
background of
voice.
some other
Was
voice?
it somebody in the Discord somehow? I heard some like woman's voice in the far distance yelling, don't shit on the Irish or
Must
something.
have been Mint's fault. But then I think the chip buddy now.
I'm hearing ghost voices now.
You're freaking me out because I'm alone here now.
So I think Bird has agreed to make me chip buddies is what this conversation was about, right?
Yeah. I'll make your bread between fries between it. Just carb sandwich. I'll do it.
Chip buddies are generally simple. You might put a bit of ketchup on it, but I'd like to see it expanded on. That would be interesting. I want to see more. Well, specifically from you, I want to see more writing. Okay, Digi? You're slacking on that front.
I agree.
I'm a massive Hermit Society fan.
Interesting. Real shit. Chapter 1. Rest stop. The hum of a semi-truck's engine nearby can sometimes lull me into such a sense of security that I feel I can show my face and walk around in the open.
Whatever it is you'll see, though, I'll be wishing that you imagined that I looked how I feel. Mimetic impressions have created in me self-images divorced from potential reality. I know the world through a web of reference there is no way to fully unpack. If we want to have a conversation, I will ask you to forgive me if I seem obtuse or insane. I, too, have no fucking idea what I'm saying, ever. If you even seem to register what I'm trying to give you, I will probably follow you around until you ask me to stop, and even then I might argue. Please be patient. I have autism. The hum of the large truck has left the Tennessee rest stop I've been pacing around for 4.5 hours, and now the place again feels displaced and hurtling, with the screaming cars down on the highway and that cool October wind reminding me that the revolving earth is a car without a driver. Mint and Riley are entertaining themselves well enough, hanging out under a gazebo and beside some lunch tables. Strangely, here I feel nostalgically in my element, lingering in and exploring a place explicitly not designed for anyone to do that. Maybe it's comforting to know that even if someone happens to glance at me, there's a nearly 100% chance they'll be gone before they take another. I used to wander hotels, strip malls, and parking lots, always timid to stray far, but growing comfortable in the space as I expanded outward over hours until the place was firmly imprinted in my memory. Very rarely, though, do I consider the people, at least not beyond how they briefly utilize the space. I find I tend to learn things backwards. I had to learn how people think through studying what they make, and even still, most people register to me as a similar kind of amorphous existence. Not to say that my own experiences seem particularly unique to me, considering I know every single one of the hundreds of things I'm cribbing from, but it's just to say that I can spot a creature in my phylum from a mile away, and we are a rare breed. I've rambled so long that the sun is in the west now, gorgeous above a power line which presides nefariously upon a hill and overlooks the rest stop like the Eye of Sauron. Depending on which bunch of trees you study, you might think fall has just begun, almost over, or beautifully underway. It is in fact Halloween, and so I salute the one tall tree whose leaves are now pumpkin orange. I've used the bathroom here thrice, and as every other time on this trip I utilized the socially appropriate one for a woman to inhabit, never having done so before, firstly as a result of not having considered myself to be one until some 6 months ago, and then because I had too much self-consciousness over whether I look like I belong in that room to others. I made a point before taking this trip to be sure I had clothes and hair that would make me feel at home in the environment. I ended up in a sort of handsome androgyny zone for a while thanks to a lack of clean clothes, but I didn't and have no intentions of ever switching bathrooms back. I bought and drank a Diet Pepsi hours ago, tragically in the face of a broken Tennessee Original Mountain Dew machine. Riley, Mint, and I have been smoking pot from a vape pen in a bowl, and I recorded the footage for the resolution of our trip documentary hours ago. So at this point, the only thing I can do to keep myself from waking Ari up is to continue writing this book. Now the sun is slowly roasting half my face, and I'm getting extremely hungry for a small cheeseburger, so I'm going to the car the second I'm done typing this paragraph. P.S. I ended up eating a full-sized bacon quarter pounder with cheese meal. It was great. We watched Akira and Chronicle and Speed Racer.
Woo! Yeah, we did.
So, you had never seen Akira. I had never seen Chronicle. And all I had ever heard anybody say about Chronicle was that it's basically Akira, which to me was like, well, I don't want to watch it if it's just Akira, because then I'm just going to be mad that it's not Akira. Max Landis, who wrote the movie, in his Regarding Clark video about Superman, talks about it in comparison to Man of Steel in order to show how, like, weird the ending of Man of Steel is, that it is comparable to Chronicle, and describes it as being a concept that had only ever been done in Akira and Carrie, which are both about a psychic teen who basically like loses control and kills a bunch of people. But Carrie is like a high school drama, and Akira is like a
dystopian Japanese action.
Yeah, and like a commentary in many ways on Japanese politics, you know? And Chronicle is somewhere in between being those two things, but really what makes it unique is the fact that it's like a found footage movie.
Right.
Filmed on like all kinds of different cameras with very fun like techniques and cinematography, and like that, if anything, is what makes it not really feel like Akira. Like the influences are obvious, yes, but it does not
feel like Akira at all. I don't think. So what did you think seeing Akira for the first time?
I liked it a lot. I can see where people say that Chronicle is similar, mostly in the powers and in the way that like the characters react to getting these powers is where the similarities are, instead of in the dystopia world building and stuff. But I like Akira for being sort of more like of a fleshed out world building experience.
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely check out the manga at some point. Whereas Chronicle is just like a couple hours of cell phone footage of these assholes in Seattle with powers. So it definitely it kind of diminishes a lot of the attempts to be big and brainy that Chronicle makes in talking about apex predators and stuff. Right. When Akira is like very like kind of celestial about it, like, oh no, we're dealing with like beings that create big bangs that are held within themselves. It's like,
I'm like amazed that you even latched onto that element of the movie, perhaps just because you had seen it like kind of echoed in that speech from Chronicle, because like there's just so much going on in Akira.
Sure.
And like I first saw this movie when I was like 13, so to me it was just like, what in the fuck is going on? Like the whole way through, it's just I had no idea what I was looking at. And like it was only really on my most recent viewing that I finally had like enough of a full view of what's going on to be like, okay, I think I know what all these players are doing. Even then, like the guy who's like dying of pills, I couldn't tell you what he was trying to accomplish. Right. You know, like I just know he's a corrupt politician guy who dies of an overdose. The symbolism is powerful, but like what was he doing? I literally could not tell you. I'm not sure what all like the papers they're throwing into the fire are and all that. Like it's just really fun to watch. And when, like all the papers are flying everywhere, and they're the guys are killing themselves in the bathtub, and it's just like that classic, you know, freak
That's
out.
where I think the aesthetic of the two movies, Akira and Chronicle, meet the energy of Speed Racer. It's just a lot of fun to watch. Which is a good reason we watched these three movies together, I think, is that you've got like anime, like strong anime with Akira, and then you have strong Western with Chronicle. Right. And in the middle, you have both influences converging.
Yes. I would say that, in fact, the biggest difference with Chronicle is that like it's the most superhero feeling. And like all of these are superhero movies in my mind. Like in Akira, Tetsuo literally fucking picks up a cape and puts it on and like struts around with this big flowing cape and like tries to be
capes
like,
are cool,
you know, a traditional supervillain. And Kaneda is just a born superhero. And like in the manga, it goes much farther with Kaneda literally being like a chosen one. Like he is like the fucking Ubermensch, like who is meant to bring about the new era after Japan's downfall, basically, by fucking that girl and having a new generation of whatever. New type children, I guess. And then like in Speed Racer, it like presents his racing ability as like a superpower. Like he is born to race, it's in his genes. His brother was already like a god tier racer and he's going to be better than him. His dad builds the best cars, and it's all because of like just the single-minded obsession with racing the entire family has that like created this prodigy. So he's kind of a superhero as well, and it's kind of a cartoon as a movie. It just has a strong, you know, Asian influence. And maybe even the fact that I can draw this through line where, like, Chronicle, you know, is much more clearly just, like, Western superheroes, you know? They fly, they fucking have, like, very normal superpowers, even though they also have the psychic abilities on top of that. The fact that the main nerdy kid is able to use the powers better because he can articulate with them more. Like, he's like, oh, I can do fancy things with the powers, or the other guys kind of just get it in a blunt way, you know? Kind of implying that, like, his autism lets him use the powers better, which is kind of... Psychic powers in anime, in my opinion, are always a metaphor for autism on some level. I enjoyed watching Chronicle as well. Like you said, it's fun to watch, and that's what I didn't expect about it. Like, I thought it would be more of like a mopey kind of teen movie, because the main character's like an incel school shooter, but like, it's a fun movie about an incel school shooter. And his friends are like fun characters as well. All the actors being, they did a good job of finding like unknown actors with good chemistry. Which helps a lot.
Kind of created the actors that are in it. Michael B. Jordan and then Michael, I think it's like Michael Dehan or whatever. The bad kid, Andrew. He went on to be in the Amazing Spider-Man movies as like the Harry Osborn of that universe.
Right.
Remember the one he like died of like ugly disease? And they have that weird hobgoblin origin. It's fucking trash. I'm just trying to stay on the Cape shit. But yeah, everybody knows him as Creed now. Or Killmonger from Black Panther. He's the main villain in a Marvel.
I want to hear you talk about Speed Racer. What
Yes.
do you like about this movie so much?
So he first of all, the character is Emil Hirsch, right?
Yeah.
He does a great job of being an asshole, like visually. Like he's always making like snide faces and disapproving like remarks.
Right.
Speed Racer in the comics would always just like say Asperger's level, just like blunt and annoying things to people. Like, oh, shut up, Trixie. I'm trying to drive.
And this movie
And then he would
presents
just
him,
drive.
like they show his whole childhood as like a textbook guide of like ADHD
Right,
tropes.
just
Like,
like, oh,
he
I
is
love
supposed to be like incredibly intense and autistic about cars, and that's how he is. And like, but part of it being just like Emil Hirsch, like yes, he's kind of an asshole, but he's also just like insanely handsome and like just like what's the word I'm looking for?
Charismatic?
Yes, charismatic to a point where like because of the fact that you're backing him as Speed Racer, it's
Right.
like he's angry for the right reasons. It's like Speed Racer is good at being a character who is like pissed off in a way that you're still on his team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though in the dub of the cartoon he can come off as like a bit over the top of a fucking asshole. Like he can be kind of a fucking
It's kind of awesome. It's my favorite thing about him.
Yeah.
I want more like borderline sociopathy. I want more borderline Fuck. I want more of a borderline sociopath Speed Racer and stuff.
Yeah.
Because the character's great. It's kind of like Iron Man. If he was like, this might kill you, and then just drops the person. Like, that's great. I want that.
I agree.
But I like the movie. I love the colors of it, the visuals. I was going to say something we should do for the show is talk about what drug vibe the movie gives you, or what drug you most should watch on it. So again, Akira for me is a very weed vibes, whereas like Speed Racer's full on
Pause.
like an acid experience.
Stop.
Drug vibe of each movie.
Speed Racer definitely feels like an acid trip, especially the like opening and ending
Very
scenes.
acidy, yes.
I don't know if I would want to do acid and watch the movie. Probably yeah, because like the acid is best for stuff that hits you with too much at once that you can't pull away from.
You can kind of parse it around.
I agree that Akira is probably more of a weed or like some kind of pills, some kind of uppers, some kind of like if you're like fucked up the way the characters in the movie are fucked up, This is like a movie for like young rappers to die to. You know what I mean? Like whatever drugs a young rapper would die to, this would be a good movie to do those two.
Fascinating.
Yeah, because Tetsuo is kind of like a young rapper. You know?
Right, no, I get you. No, so you're talking about like downers like Juice WRLD shit, like
yeah,
taking a bunch of downers before your flight,
too many pills and dying. And then Chronicle,
meth movie. No.
I would think this is more of a drinking movie.
Drinking movie.
There's probably a fun drinking game you can make up with this movie.
Drink every time nerdy kid's dad beats him.
Yeah.
Oh jeez, man. No, I mean, yeah, drink every time somebody does like a cliche.
Drink every time nerdy kid kills someone.
Oh, that could be a good one. It'll ramp up towards the end or whatever. Then at the end, they're going through buildings like fucking
Oh, God.
boom, boom, boom. You're like, bottle of time. What's your take? You watched them?
I saw a meme about Akira earlier today where he's sitting on the rock chair and like his arm is melting into the chair with wires, and it said when your arm falls asleep. That's the only thing I can remember about the movie now.
Yo, that's some shroom shit though. When your arm like becomes the wires and shit,
Yeah.
that's some shroom stuff.
I really like Speed Racer because I grew up watching the cartoon, and it like the jump jack noise is exactly the same. They use a lot of the same noises, and it's pretty on point. It's a good movie.
You know, I've only done a little bit of shrooms and once, but I'm thinking about it, and Akira probably would be a good shroom movie. It did kind of feel like how that trip felt.
Yeah.
It's a lot of brick wall imagery.
I was gonna say DMT for Akira because a new universe literally starts, but
that's true.
Caller, go.
Are you there? What is up?
What up? I got that Monopoly money.
You are our esteemed 100 Gex collaborator. No, thank you.
haunt me for the rest of my fucking life.
I'm always getting into fights with people on Twitter over the dumbest shit, right? And I don't remember what this fight was over. I just remember, like, somebody was really mad at me for giving them shit about, like, landlords or something, just bugging them. And then they posted something back to me that threw me off. They were like, do you know Digi and no thank you? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, why do they like you? You're an asshole. And then they blocked me. And it was really good.
That's such an interesting set of association to be curious about to me. Like, that is fascinating.
There's like a meme in my circles of like, oh yeah, no thank you. That's the guy that's on an album with Fallout Boy.
Your song is the first 100 Gex song I ever heard. Was like your remix of it. So I think of no thank you before 100 Gex in priority.
Dempa Mob. Yeah, well,
Dempa Mob come crashing to the ceiling.
Did you create the Dempa Mob logo? Like,
I did.
I saw
a logo.
Well, I meant a moniker, rather.
Yeah, I made a video called Denpa, but basically it's like a 4-hour-long video, kind of like a avant-garde film more than a YouTube video, like an avant-garde vlog about sort of. Oh, it's about too much shit to fucking.
This describes most of your videos is avant-garde vlogs and about too much shit to someone.
Oh yeah, this Dempa shit's changed my life.
I don't know how much to spoil. There's some Digi dick sucking, and then there's a little bit of Digi shit talking. So if you make it through like the first 2 hours, that'll be a fun little Easter egg for you. You know, I just want to spread out through the wired and infect as much as I can, like a slime mold. You know, like nice. In my personal opinion, there are two sort of organisms that have it figured out. 3 organisms that have it figured out. Mushrooms, they have it figured out. They know what they're doing. You know how old the dinosaurs are? You know when the dinosaurs were around?
Yeah.
20 million years ago, right? 20 million years ago, dinosaurs. Mushrooms, they've been around since 40 million years ago. Twice as old as a dinosaur.
Also, the biggest organism in the world is like well, I know it's a fungi. I don't know if it's specifically a mushroom, but
it's as big as like London.
Some fucking massive fungus in Washington or something.
And I have a theory that mushrooms invented the internet and we just discovered it. Because if you look at my mycelial networks,
it makes
like the internet.
Okay, that's a void thought.
That is definitely a good void thought.
That's
mushrooms
fucking
invented the internet.
A1.
Yeah,
like mushrooms. If you look at the way mycelial networks work underneath forests and shit, like the tree roots intersect with mycelial tendrils. And it's like an information highway for the different beings and life forms in the forest to communicate with each other. And you'll see it resembles, like, they have nodes and like something that can resemble servers where there are like lots of different interconnecting nodes that sort of like converge on one point. That it's like the internet. It's like a fucking information highway for the forest.
The internet.
It's the internet. No, I'm 100%.
Moss has it figured out. Moss also hasn't really changed in like 40 million years. It's basically been the same. In fact, you can compare fossilized moss. Moss is so stable that you can find fossilized moss and like fit it into modern species of moss. Like, it's just the same. Like, if you find a fossilized animal.
So does that just mean it's like genetically perfect? Like, it has no evolution necessary?
Yeah.
That's pretty sick. Fucking uber moss.
If we're going to connect things, there's an obscure type of Australian moss that contains a THC analog that you could theoretically smoke moss.
Moss tabs. Dabbing fucking moss, bro.
It's not very well researched, though. I don't know if it's. I
love
really
things that aren't very well researched.
Yeah.
But look.
Here, hot take. Personally, not a big fan of Irish whiskey. I'm a Scotch guy.
Okay, where do you get your Scotch from?
Scotland.
Well,
I like my favorite.
Is good.
My favorite whiskey is Lagavulin. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it.
I don't know how you would spell that based on what you said. It sounded like a lot of L's.
It's an Islay Scotch. Comes from like an island off the coast of Scotland.
That means it's like smoky or something. Right?
Yeah. Very smoky. Very smoky. Cool. It's like drinking a cigar, which is why I like it.
Because smoking just hurts the lungs, but drinking, I could get away with that.
That's why I vape. It's so fucking weird to me that in America you can't drink till you're 21.
It is weird. It's very fucking weird. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
You should be able to drink at 10, in my opinion.
I mean, as somebody who smokes a lot of weed, the thought that it's illegal anywhere is also very surreal to me, because you can drive while you're high.
Because I live in London, where we have a functional public transport system. I know this is like a mythical fucking concept.
There's a few of them here. I lived in Boston, and they have one, but I hate it.
But America's built for cars.
It is, but, like, it really depends where you live, too, because, like, it's built for cars badly. Like, most cities are built in a grid structure, and that is not conducive to traffic, whereas, like, traffic circles and shit actually are. So, America, most cities' traffic is fucking garbage.
But my friend, do you know Joe?
Only if you mean pause and select.
Oh, no, Joe Mama?
No. Okay, that was good. I'm gonna walk up a cliff and die now.
That's a really good fucking call segment.
Is the show over now?
If you're leaving dishes after cooking and you don't actually clean them, it just makes everything stick to the dish more, and it makes it harder to clean the dishes. Clean your dishes after you do them. It will make your life infinitely better. When you wake up, make your bed like Jordan Peterson said. Have you ever been in a tree? Trees are cool. Trees are real nice. I enjoy trees, man.